find someone to share thoughts with as your brain's in a blur. Walk this way or down an alley, make the master list, keep running, tally of where you've been, where you found the heat, but don't go down to Regent Street. Don't go down to Regent Street. Take that fun and the bugs and the killbird. Can't step around feeling bewildered. It's what's going around, I guess. In my mind, your blueprint dress billows out the window just above your feet. But don't go down to Regent Street. Don't go down to Regent Street. Crowd is thick, no room to run. I got a job that must be done. I try to clear my thoughts, try not to care. My directions say go anywhere, avert your eyes, avoid uncertified meat, but don't go down to Regent Street. Don't go down to Regent Street. Take to the high road, don't release your dry load. Islamabad, Cairo, nervous wreck. See you later, alligator, stuck in the elevator. Signal to the waiter to burn that check. Go down to the river and toss that trash. Go down to the doctor and clean that rash. Go down to the priest, cleanse your sins. Go down to the tanner and dye your skins. Go down to the usher and demand a seat, but don't go down to Regent Street. Don't go down to Regent Street. Take to the high road, don't release your dry load. Islamabad, Cairo, nervous wreck. See you later, alligator, stuck in the elevator. Signal to the waiter to burn that check. As a shepherd, my sheep don't bleed. Tell the blind bartender to serve them up neat. Tell the hostess take a break, she's not too great. Tell the drummer not to drum, he's got no beat. Tell the croupier look the other way, we all cheat. But don't go down to Regent Street. 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 Well, I assume we're all here. It's great to be doing this with Swallow Hill tonight. Swallow Hill is one of my favorite venues, really, in the world to play. It's always one of those dates you circle in red on your tour when you know you're going to play at Swallow Hill in Denver, Colorado. I've been playing there for a long time in a lot of different modes too, and they're always great to come to, work with. Well, the folks that come out there. Last year, right around this time, I got to do a reunion show with my old band, most of whom are out there in Colorado, the International Jewish Banking Conspiracy, sometimes known as the IJBC. Uh, and we all played, well, Regent Street. That's what we started out with, because that was the new one. So whenever I play Regent Street, I think of the IJBC and playing out there and with Swallow Hill and all that. So it's great to be here with all of you. We're just gonna play some songs. It seems to be as good a thing to do on a Saturday night as anything else. When I tell you that I love you, don't test my love. Accept my love. Don't test my love. 'Cause maybe I don't love you all that much. Don't ask what kind of music I'm gonna play tonight. Just stay a while, hear for yourself a while. And if you must put me in a box, make sure it's a big box with lots of windows and a door to walk through and a nice hot chimney, so we can burn, burn, burn everything we don't like and watch the ashes fly up to heaven, maybe all the way to India. I'd like that. All the ancient kings came to my door. They said, you want to be an ancient king too? I said, oh yes, very much, but I think my time is wrong. They said time is relative. Or did you misread Einstein? I said, you really mean it? They said, what do you think we come here for? Or goddamn help or something? Everybody's waiting for the Messiah. The Jews are waiting, Christians are waiting, also the Muslims. It's like everybody's waiting. They've been waiting a long time. I know how I hate to wait, like even for a bus or something, an important phone call. So I can just imagine how darn impatient everybody must be getting. So I think it's time now, time to reveal myself. I am the Messiah. I am the Messiah. I am the Messiah. I am the Messiah. Yeah, I think you heard me right. I am the Messiah. I'm gonna wait till next year, build up the suspense a little, make it a really big surprise. But I could not resist. It's like when you got a really big secret, you just burst and tell someone. It was sort of like that with this. Now that I've told you, I feel this great weight lifted. Dr. Nussbaum was right. He's my therapist. He said, get it out of me, oh man. I spent 10 whole days in Jerusalem, Jerusalem, sweet Jerusalem, and all I ate was olives, nothing but olives, mountains of olives. It was a good 10 days. I like olives, I like you too. So when I tell you that I love you, don't test my love. Accept my love, don't test my love. 'Cause maybe I don't love you all that You may have noticed I'm wearing a Grace Design hat. Grace Design, right there in Lyons, Colorado. And the eminent guitar player from the IJBC, he does a lot of other things too. He's his own singer-songwriter now too, with the 89s. But that's Evan Grace of Grace Design, right there in Lyons, Colorado. All this high-end recording stuff, recording equipment, pretty fancy. Anyway, I'm proud to fly the colors of Grace Design. I've been speaking later and later in the day. Most days I don't talk till maybe 8 o'clock. Keeps me holy, keeps me well in the mountains, even when I'm on the road. Keeps me coming up for air, keeps me airing out some cover, keeps me cool. Every place I go is one less place I could call home. And every girl I kiss, well, I just cross her off my list. I don't go far, I just go crazy. I buried all of my old clothes out in some field in West Des Moines. And if you judge me tonight, judge me by the songs I write. That's who I am to you. There's a black tornado, a black tornado spinning around in my body sometimes. Oh, 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 oh. Hey, 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 oh. With something soft and warm and furry, but that ain't likely to occur in South Central Missouri. It's a day off, it's an awful day. It's a Budweiser budget till the casket cannon night. All I got's what's on my back, guitar and a backpack. My soul is intact, and there's a black black tornado spinning around in my body sometimes. Hey, 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 faster than I can describe. All I really know to do is grab the wheel and drive and look for love, some adventure. And I try not to let my own breathing scare me off the road. There's a tombstone of my father, life is it sometimes. There's a fresh grave but the mama, what is it too? Then there's a black tornado spinning around everybody sometimes. Black tornado spinning around everybody sometimes. There's a red tornado spinning around in the body sometimes. Ooh, oh, 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 oh. Hey, 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 oh, oh. one off a record called New American Language. That is one of several that recorded with the IJBC right there in Boulder, Colorado. A stone's throw from Swallow Hill. Swallow Hill is one of those places where once such a thing like touring is possible again, for ilk like me, that's one of the places I look forward to going. Also want to send a big shout out for their 35th anniversary tonight, 35th wedding anniversary, to Robert and Judy out in, they're in New Jersey. What's that called? Forget the town it's called. It's that one that's right by New York. It's practically in New York. It's Jersey City. That's what it is. Jersey City. Big shout out to them for their beginning of their next 35. Heroes all got teleprompters. I got a bucket of pee. Stay out in your cornfield, mister. We'll have a good time in here. I got my GPS and my hoodie, and my one guitar that stays in tune. And if all goes well, I'll see you on the moon. Sometimes your heroin's heroin, sometimes coffee, sometimes a girl. Sometimes you gotta get away from something as far as you can in the world. I got my GPS and my hoodie, and my one guitar that stays in tune. And if all goes well, I see you on the moon. See you in hell, see you in Texas, see you in the dreams, see you in the rain, see you in the rear view, see you on the radio, see you in the clubhouse, California, Come on, I've never seen a barrier, could've gone around that I didn't just barrel through. I'm going up to Alberta, I didn't know what else to do. I got my big old van and the rice cakes and the helium balloon. I hope you get my postcard from the Indiana dudes. I got my GPS and my hoodie, and my own guitar that stays in tune. And if all goes well, if all goes well, if all goes well, and it will, see you on the moon. One time I was in Netherland, Colorado, up there, pretty high up, but just outside of Denver, above Boulder. Me and my friend Josh Zawadek, who was traveling with me, playing some accordion, some bass, hitting some stuff. Kind of like one of those guys who's just a whole band in himself. Anyway, it was a terrible snowstorm up there. It was suddenly, like, while we were playing, maybe 2 feet of snow dropped. And one of the very few people who was up there to see us was a fellow by the name of Will Massasack. And he said, he was a piano player, and he said, if you need a place to stay, you can stay with us for a night. Well, one night turned into 3, at least 3, because the snow never let up. I think our gig in Lyons was canceled because the roof fell in, I think. But that's really how the IJBC got started, because of that snowstorm. Well, Master Sack and his buddies. So I always give a little thanks for the Colorado snow. A couple years ago, I told everybody I was the Messiah come to save me. They started lining up with babies to be blessed, the sick and the lame blocking the pavement. I walked on water and okay sang, turned wine into whiskey and drank. Sha-la-la, sha-la-la, sha-la-na-na-na-na. That was just a couple Snickers and some cornmeal mush. I fed 6,000 at a time. I spoke in St. Louis, you gotta play St. Louis, St. Louis, it's a rule of some kind. The blind came to me and I made him see. Got the deaf digging high fidelity. Card trick like a card trick she wouldn't believe. There's nothing innocent about a newborn babe that a few years here can cure. And it's not so much that you burn out, baby, but you finally just endure. Now to tell you the truth, lately even I start to get a little overwhelmed. Wars and pain and poverty, those have been around a long time. The oceans rise and the fresh water dies and the hate sticks harder to your inside, and the cars get bigger and your smoke churns out and your idols fall and you lie a little better. And the train gets further and further off the track. It's harder to turn back. They call Mother Earth Mother for a reason. She will revolve. Alright, haven't asked a whole lot of you now, but your part's coming up now. Stop what you're doing and breathe. That's your part. Stop what you're doing and breathe. You keep that going now. Stop what you're doing and breathe. I'm gonna do a different part now, but you do that part. Stop what you're doing and breathe. I'm gonna mainline you now. Here we go. Eating and burgers, cooperating murders, speaking in tongues, burning your lungs. Drinking a coke, repeating some joke, kissing the ring, buffalo wings, hogging your horn, internet porn, taking a pill, right in your will. Stop what you're doing and breathe. Keep that going. Stop what you're doing and breathe. Sounds pretty good. See, that wasn't so hard. That wasn't so bad. It actually sounded pretty good. What I could hear. You know, when I'm singing, when I'm getting going, it's hard to hear you guys. It's just the way it is. But when I see your lips moving and your stomach area, then I know. I want to give a shout out to Rob Nunn there in Swallow Hill. Very patient, very, what am I trying to say? Very patient man, very skilled man in the sound department. Thanks for hanging in there, Rob. Hey! Say I've been carousing too much. Drinking like a sailor and smoking like the Dutch or the Coloradans. But I don't mind. I feel fine, and I got a long lifeline. Try that once. I got a long lifeline. Skeletons clattering in the breeze. I got a rope around my neck and I'm dangling in the trees, but I don't mind. Yes, I feel fine, and I got a long lifeline. Chime in. I've been talking with my old friends, come to a consensus. I'm a sentimental fool. You won't catch me crying. Might not like my chances when I'm swinging for the fences, but I'll have a hack at it one more time. Methuselah and me were good pals, but we're fighting in the alley over politics and gals. But I don't mind. Yes, I feel fine. Try that again. So, I get along lifeline. Okay, we're gonna do one more time, but this time on the word long. Let's just hold it as long as we can. Here we go. Got along. How'd you do? Did pretty good. We could have held it longer, but you know, we got a set here. We don't got all night. We got all night. We can hold it all night. I remember the first time I went up and played in Denver. I was untrained in the ways of altitude. I was running out of breath, all kinds of running out of breath, man. Now I live in the high desert, New Mexico, so I'm in training for everywhere else, I figure. Here's a Zevon tune. Don't let us get sick. Don't let us get old. Don't let us get stupid, alright. Just make us be brave and make us play nice and let us be together. sky was on fire when I walked to the mill to take up the slack in the line. I thought of my friends and troubles they've had to keep me from thinking of mine. Don't let us get sick, don't let us get old, don't let us get stupid, alright. Just make us be brave and make us drink nice and let us be together tonight. The moon has a face and it smiles on the lake and causes the ripples in time. I'm lucky to be here with someone I like who maketh my spirit to shine. Don't let us get sick, don't let us get old, don't let us get stupid, alright. Just make us be brave and make us play nice and let us be together tonight. Let's all do that once. Don't let us get sick, don't let us get old, don't let us get sick, don't let us get stupid, alright. Don't let us get stupid, alright. Just make us be brave and make us play nice and let us be together tonight. That's one of the many songs that, since all this started 6 months or so ago now, has seemed more apt than ever. So sing that song. We've been doing a whole bunch of live streams ever since it started. We call them Hunkered in the Bunker. And next Friday is going to be, all being well, the 100th one. So we're going to do some crazy kind of a marathon, I think. So if you're inclined, pop on in for that one. In the meantime, we're doing this show with Swallow Hill, one of our favorite venues in the whole world. And if you feel like doing that, kicking in something for Swallow Hill so that they will stay alive through all this, well, that would be pretty swell. This is one I played many times with the IJBC there in Colorado and elsewhere, with Will Massasack and Evan Grace and Jake Coffin and Brian Shea. Coloradans all. If you're in Colorado and you run into them, say hey. I have a friend, sits in his office where he's had his big success. Now he cries all day. He says the internet is stealing his royalties. Talks of his glory days. Says ain't no one cares about your glory days. Back road, New Mexico, there's an old abandoned church. Windows boarded up, never sees a coat of paint. Sometimes I buy and dream of hearing the preacher preach, but it's a drag strip for the kids. You can hear their tires screech. Don't let your heart get broken by this world. Don't let your heart get broken. At the bottom of the ocean, you might find a pearl. Don't let your heart get broken by this world. you need to. Sing you an Albuquerque lullaby. So baby, when I close my eyes, you know it's you I see. You know I'm pulling for you as you go on your way. Don't ever hesitate, say what's going on. Ain't nothing black and white, always some new place to turn. Don't let your heart get broken by this world. Don't let your heart get broken at the bottom of the ocean. You might find a pearl. Don't let your heart get broken by this world. Don't let your heart get broken by this world. Don't let your heart get broken by this world. Don't let your heart, it can get bruised maybe, but don't let it get broken by this world. Here's a brand new one off of a brand new EP put out just a couple of weeks ago called Shining. Shining. I live in a country that does not yet exist. I wish I'd brought you into a world better than this. It's a world of hatred, misunderstanding, factories and cars, but still it beats Mercury, Venus and Mars. My soul is still trying to be born. You don't have to look very far in the past to say we haven't been warned. The golden rule is so simple to ignore out of hand. What part of we're all created equal is so hard to understand. Hey, when the darkness comes, when it seems like endless night, that's the time to shine. Keep shining your light. That's the time to shine. Keep shining your light. Hey, do you stick around? Do we stay and fight? Or do we get a heart of Dodge while we still can? My soul is still trying to come alive. One lifetime is barely enough, might need 4 or 5. Maybe we get recycled like the plastic we send back to the plant every week. As long as we're still in the game, we can search for what we see. Hey, when the darkness comes and it seems like endless night, that's the time to shine. That's the time to shine. Keep shining. Well, I see we're just about there. So I'm gonna do one more tune. Thanks again to Swallow Hill for doing this and including these tunes. And thank y'all for coming by. There's a big guy's new CD laying in bed. One is producer, thinks he never should have made. But it gets me going, gets me into the shower. What a shock to be awake at this early hour. And you were gone, it was time to fly. And all that's left is a fact we tried. So thanks for the tunes, and thanks for the time. You're gone now, baby, bye-bye. Them guys from Orange County, man, they way shakes my brain and it shakes my tail. New girl on top of me will just work out. I retreat to the kitchen and sort it all out. And you're gone, it's time to fly. And all that's left is the fact we tried. So thanks for the tunes, and thanks for the time. You're gone now, baby, bye-bye. You left your keys on the table, and on the bed you left a rose. And I know they said my CDs won't fit the card and keep my spoils. This disc is left out and the sun gets warped and it's hissing. Can't place a voice, no, the inserts are missing. I turn off the phones, if you don't call, it's alright. Then maybe I won't listen to nothing tonight. And you gone, it was time to fly. And all that's left is a fact we tried. So thanks for the tunes, and thanks for the time. You're gone now, baby, bye-bye. You're gone, it was time to fly. And all that's left is a fact we tried. So thanks for the tunes, and thanks for the time. You're gone now, baby, bye-bye. You're gone now, baby, bye-bye. You're down now, baby, bye-bye. Oh, wow. Gosh. Huh. Oh, you guys are, come on. Okay. Wow. Well, if you're gonna make that kind of a noise, that kind of a beautiful racket, well, what can I say? Can I refuse? All right. Sit down. Okay. Thank you. No, that's really sweet of y'all. Out in the lobby afterwards, glad to talk, sign stuff. Yeah, we could do pictures, whatever you want. We traveled a long ways today. We had not great food. Breakfast was rushed. Um, we kind of were at a rest stop for a little bit. Maybe we were there a little bit too long. We got to sound check late, which would have been fine if it was just me, but it was a whole band. So, but Rob was great. But you know, when we get to play, this is the best part of the day. Everything else is traveling, figuring out logistics, getting a little bit to eat maybe, making sure we're on the right road. But then for an hour and a half, or 2 hours, or 2.5 hours, or whatever it is, sometimes 3.5, we forget all of that. Hopefully you do too. We just get to swap some tunes, tell some stories. Remember what it is that keeps us alive. We'll play this one. It's from a record released just this year. Released, I don't know, 5 or 6 this year. Crazy. But what are you going to do if you're not touring around? You're sitting around. Some records you already made, you've been sitting on. This one we were sitting on for years, 10, 12 years. Really talented drummer and bass player and producer by the name of Mitch Marine produced this record for me. Evan played on it, played all over it. Mitch is probably best known for being a drummer for Dwight Yoakam. Record was called Ivan's Barbershop, and this one is called Blue Highway. Go on YouTube, check out the video for Blue Highway. My daughter Lulu made the video. It's pretty sweet. Never meant that much to me. House in the car and the baby's 3, so I left a note, some money. Lit out for Tennessee. Thought that if they heard me play in Nashville or Memphis anyway, some harmonica and me headed out one day, rambling down that big old blue highway. Found out real soon that Tennessee had enough harmonica players for the next century, so I drifted back to Arkansas, blowing in and out like there's no tomorrow. And on the way to Little Rock, my big break came in this honky-tonk Fort Smith. It was Merle Haggard heard me play, sent me rambling down that big old blue highway. Between all-night gigs and rock and roll scenes, my face started getting in the magazine. Started out cool, got to be a drag. I complained one night to Mr. Merle Haggard, and in the fading light by a silver Dodge, he said, if you want to be a garage band, stay in the garage. I got no time for whining, he'd say, left me standing on that big old blue highway. There's men with tall ships in the marina, summer home in Catalina. They lie awake nights wondering if they locked it. I got my harmonica in my pocket. And if you find yourself howling at the moon and you ever need a lonesome tune, I'll probably be in your town someday, rambling in off that big old blue highway. Thanks again, thanks to Swallow Hill. Please be generous with Swallow Hill, and maybe we'll all meet there again sometime in the not too distant. Thanks y'all for coming around, showing up